My name is Joseph Meyer. I'm the project manager here at Yellow Dog Village. This village was built around 1900 to 1910 as a miners' workers' village. The mine was across the hill. You can still see the escarpments there. In the early 1900s, the miners had trouble getting to work. So they went to the owners and they said, "We have trouble getting to work, we're missing days, we're late for work."
And they promised their workers that if they didn't unionize, that they would build them a village so they can live and raise their family, so it'd be close to their work, and also raise their wages. The workers accepted that, hence the name also Yellow Dog, political aspect. So how this started was across the creek, there was a limestone quarry. The people or the company that owned the quarry was located in Pittsburgh.
This was right after the Homestead strike and all those union activities. They built the village over a period of about 10 to 15 years, and it was occupied by miners. The mine went bankrupt totally in 1952. It had financial trouble from the Depression on, but in '52 it was totally closed, and the whole village was given to a local church. I came across the village on the internet and fell in love with the idea of trying to save this village, because so many of these types of early worker villages have disappeared. I think this needs to be preserved so that future generations can see it and understand what that kind of life was like. My dream is, as a history teacher, I was infatuated with this concept of having a place where people could come and live in the past, live like it's 1910, experience that, but more than that, the foundation of that kind of rural lifestyle is wrapped up in the crafts, in the skills that people had. And a lot of those we're losing. Our schools and training centers and VOTECs are all teaching the technical things you need to get a job in today's culture, but the foundation of those technical jobs is being lost. So I'm strongly motivated to have a place where we can teach those traditional skills, the skills I learned from my grandfather and great-grandfather. The idea is to restore the village to its 1910 era and let people come out, the public come out and spend a week living in the past like it's 1910, but at the same time, while they're here, taking lessons from skilled craftsmen who live here. So this will be an active, working village. The people I work with bought this a year ago. I've been here 1 year now. And when we first moved here, we had no electricity, we had no running water. We put a wood stove in the house. We're still heating with wood a year later. We did get electricity so that some things are more convenient, but we still don't have running water under pressure. We're using spring water. This village originally relied on spring water. But as the water usage went up, it tapped into groundwater areas that were not as pure as the springs were. And then secondly, the huge amount of water usage for 34 homes began to create sewage issues. So we have these technical imbalance between the old rural lifestyle and the modern demands that the residents had in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The village was closed due to these technical problems, the water and sewage issues. 5 years ago, the owner went bankrupt and the village was abandoned. Before it was abandoned, it was vandalized. Everything of value was removed. Then, once it was abandoned, then the local the local young people began coming in here as a hangout, and they broke about half the windows in the buildings. So there's over 300 broken windows. Once the houses were exposed to the outside moisture, then the paint peeled, and now the houses need a lot of repair work. They don't need restoration, they just need repair. Broken windows, scraping paint. A big factor in village life is individualism. Each villager had his own ideas. And my dream is not to rubber stamp this out by my vision, but to let each craftsman and each resident who lives here do his own design and make it his own house. If some people want unpainted fences and other people want painted fences and some people like the black oiled look, that's fine. That's a village. That's the way it ought to be. But at least it'll be a vibrant village again, and the houses will be maintained and preserved. Eventually this street, I'd like to have a street of shops for the public. They can just drop in and go to the shops run by the craftsmen and buy their goods that were made here by the craftsmen. So it'll be a very unique experience, both for the public who just comes here to shop and also to the people who want to learn the crafts and come out and spend a week and live in 1910.